DJ PK, time now to talk to the Aggies. Interim coach Nate Dreiling.
It's time to talk Aggie football with the interim head coach of the Aggies, Nate Dreiling, on your exclusive home of Aggie football, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Coach, good morning.
Morning, guys. How we doing?
Good. How hard is it to be up right now and be enthusiastic when the team is down after a tough game? Or did they shake it off pretty quickly and you're not feeling that on the flight back?
The first 24 hours hurts, right, as it always does in a loss. But a lot of good stuff on film we can learn from, and effort was phenomenal the whole night, and the kids were resilient. Didn't show up on the scoreboard, so it's just continue to get better and better as the season goes.
What specific positives do you think you can take from that game?
We need to understand that's one of the best teams in the country, right? And that's not an excuse, but your mistakes are going to be amplified. And we need to be way better as our details in our blocking and our block destruction on defense, assignments. You can't beat teams like that, teams like Utah, unless you're doing things the right way consistently. And there was flashes of moments, right, which I love, but the biggest thing is consistently doing our job to a high level of detail.
Everything starts with the offensive line, and USC's defense looks a lot better. How much of that was USC's defense being better, and how much do you have to improve up front? What do you think?
The one area I was extremely impressed was with our offensive line. We had two tailbacks average over 5 yards a carry. Probably could have ran the ball a little bit more. I thought the push they had up front was good the majority of the night. It's just being able to consistently do it, though, right? And that goes back to that consistency word, which I've said 9 million times. But the tailbacks ran hard. We didn't put a lot in Bryson's hand. We got the ball out quick. So it kind of limited of how he could play, but pretty proud of those guys now. Obviously, going to be a huger task this week. Utah's D-line's probably even better.
Yeah, when you think about it, you can make that case for sure. Quarterback situation's interesting. Obviously, you go with Barnes because of according to what you said last week, he'd be the backup. The injury situation presented itself. I don't know what the plan is this week. But just for the sake of argument, assuming it's Barnes, obviously Utah knows him inside and out. Will that cause you to do anything different if he plays?
Well, I think just the complete opposite. And, who knows Utah's defense better than Bryson, who's been there for 3 years. So I think I look at way more as advantage than disadvantage. So he'll have some interesting perspectives on what he's going to see. And whether it's him or Spencer, I think he'll be able to help a lot with the game plan on things we can exploit.
With the ball coming out quickly, that limits what Jalen Royals could do, but you still liked what he did?
Yeah, got him a lot of touches early. Should have came back to him. I think he finished with 7 catches on 12 targets. Was close on a couple that got tipped past that he had a chance to break. We just got to continue to find ways to get him the ball more. They double coverage him or they play cover 2 over top of him. That's just something that we need to know. But when he had the ball in his hand, right, he's freaky. We just got to make sure we get that done more often.
Now, that's 2 weeks in a row you said that because you said that to us last week. Do you have a number in mind that you would like to have him have the ball or at least have opportunities to have the ball?
As many as humanly possible, right? He's going to be one of the best offensive players to ever come out of Utah State. And we know teams know that, right? So they are making it difficult to find ways to get it to him. So we'll keep coming up with creative ways to make sure that he has a chance to break free at any moment.
Creative, that just stole my next question right there. More carries for him, as many quick screens, anything, right? Anything to put the ball in his hands?
Yeah, and you saw it early on in the SC game. He had, I think 3 of the first 4 touches of the game. We've seen to probably consistently do that, but the other team knows that as well. So they do it. They did a good job of doubling him to make sure that we couldn't give him balls easily.
Now, if Utah follows what they've done, they'll play cat and mouse game with their quarterback right up until maybe game time. But obviously, they'll know internally. I'm thinking that for you guys, you'll go in the mindset that Rising will play and then adjust if he doesn't. Is that it, or is it something else?
Well, I was hoping you guys would have some good inside information for me. It sounds like you're letting me down this morning. No, they have so many playmakers too. Obviously, with Rising back there, the whole team looked different, and I think they just feed off that guy. And why shouldn't they? He's one of the best players in all of college football. But either way, we know what the first thing we have to do is stop the run versus these guys. And obviously, he just throws such a deep ball, which is why it's so challenging for opponents to prepare for them. So either way, it's going to be us stopping the run, and no matter what, who's throwing the ball, we just got to win our one-on-ones on the outside.
I don't like to talk point spreads because it puts coaches in a bad spot in multiple ways, but I only bring it up now to say that Vegas tends to know, and judging by the point spread, they think Rising's playing. So I'm pretty sure you're prepping for Rising. Whatever they do, it's going to be him.
Yeah, well, we will see. Either way, we're going to have the 11 guys in the box holding up versus this run and making them throw it.
What you will have is, I would think, a packed house, because these in-state games, this will be your first opportunity, but it usually generates a little more buzz no matter who it is. Pick any of the three teams playing each other in whichever formation you want. We've seen that it creates a little more buzz, a little more excitement. How do you think that can inspire your players, because Utah's coming to your place, so I would think the majority of the fans would be for the Aggies?
Yeah, anytime you can get a Power 4 team to visit you on your side is an awesome opportunity, let alone an in-state team that's an hour and a half away. So supposedly they're going to be camping out on a late Thursday night already to get their seats, and I'm sure there's going to be some red in this stadium, but it's going to be packed. It's going to be an awesome atmosphere for both squads.
Everybody wants to put pressure on the quarterback. Lots of good things happen defensively when you're able to do that. What did you think of your ability to do that against SC, and how do you think that translates against the Utes, regardless of who the quarterback is?
Yeah, well, the big thing is we just couldn't get SC slowed down enough to stop the run, to pressure the quarterback. Right? It's hard to just pressure if you're not playing good enough versus the run. So that needs to be the emphasis. It's got to be able to stop the run and get them into knowing pass situations, and that way you can tee off. If you don't, it's just too hard. There's too many third and shorts, and that'll be the same thing this weekend. So we got to do a better job winning first and second down to get into pass rush situations.
Well, Coach, good luck. It's an in-state game. There'll be a lot of eyes on it, including ours, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Let's do it. Appreciate you guys.
Nate Dreiling, Utah State Aggies interim coach after the loss to USC, and SC averaged over 7 yards a carry, so there's his point on the rushing game, that you're not going to be in good down and distance situations when they're running the ball.
And it's all
like
about down and distance. I mean, I have just preached that till I'm Aggie blue in the face. Down and distance, down and distance, down and distance. Sometimes I even slip up and I'll say distance and down.
That would be cool to hear that one.
Yeah.
Distance and down.
Because that matters too.
4 on third down. That would be awkward.